mynews.studio.
Under Cornwall, there's now a 5-kilometer deep well that's powering homes and charging electric cars. The question is, can this heat and the minerals it brings up actually reshape Britain's energy landscape?
Today's date is February 27th, 2026. Let's just start at the top. What exactly happened this week in Cornwall? And why is this particular switch on making headlines?
So, the United Downs geothermal power plant officially went online. It's the UK's first deep geothermal electricity facility, and it's been in the making for almost 20 years by Geothermal Engineering Limited, GEL for short. They drilled down more than 5 kilometers into granite, bringing up water that's hotter than 190 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to spin turbines and generate electricity. And this isn't just an experiment. It's producing 3 megawatts of continuous electricity, which covers about 10,000 homes.
Continuous power. So unlike wind or solar, this isn't affected by whether the sun is shining or the wind's blowing.
That's right. Geothermal is what's called baseload power. It runs all day, every day, no matter the weather. That's pretty important because as we add more wind and solar, which come and go, having something steady helps keep the grid balanced.
But getting here took a long time. 20 years is quite a stretch for one project. What slowed things down?
Well, they kicked off back in 2009. Funding was a major hurdle for years, until they secured EU grants and invested about £50 million. Drilling the UK's deepest onshore well in 2019 was a big achievement. But then they ran into technical problems, pump failures, for example, and spent a long time negotiating grid connections. That pushed the opening back from 2024 into 2025. Even getting planning permission took some work. But every challenge helped them refine their approach for future sites.
So, are there already plans for more geothermal plants?
Yes, actually. 2 more sites, Manhay and Penhallow, already have planning permission. Each will generate up to 4.9 megawatts. GEL's aiming for another 10 megawatts online by 2030. That said, one proposed site was recently rejected, so it's not all smooth sailing.
But there's more to this than just electricity, right? The lithium they're finding seems like a pretty big deal.
Exactly. During tests, they found the geothermal brine contains high concentrations of lithium, about 340 parts per million, which is among the highest in Europe. That's enough to make 100 tons of lithium carbonate per year, enough for about 2,500 electric car batteries. GEL plans to scale up to 18,000 tons, which could supply batteries for 250,000 vehicles.
Wait. How do they actually get lithium out of the brine? Is it any cleaner than traditional mining methods?
Yes, it's cleaner. Instead of digging up rock or using evaporation ponds, they extract lithium directly from the hot brine brought up for energy. It's a closed-loop process, so environmental impact is lower. GEL is running a demonstration plant now, with some funding from the UK's Automotive Transformation Fund. This trial phase is crucial. They need to prove the tech works at scale and meets environmental standards before expanding.
Considering the UK relies mostly on imported lithium, especially from China, could this project change things for local supply?
It's a significant step. Having domestic lithium reduces exposure to global supply risks and lowers the environmental costs of importing from abroad. The government's already put in £1.8 million in grants to help development. If GEL can scale up, it could really boost the UK's electric vehicle and battery industries, especially as demand for lithium keeps rising.
But there are limits, right? Drilling these wells isn't cheap, and the British Geological Survey only expects the national total to reach about 150 to 300 megawatts in the next 20 years.
That's true. While geothermal has lots of promise, high upfront costs limit how fast it can grow. Still, the Geological Survey estimates there's a UK-wide potential for 2 gigawatts. Even if just a portion gets developed, it's a meaningful addition to our energy options.
So, just to sum up, Cornwall's United Downs plant now provides 3 megawatts of continuous power, supplies 10,000 homes, and produces homegrown lithium from granite heat sources people have known about since Victorian times. Would you call this a turning point for UK energy?
It's definitely a precedent. By combining renewable power and critical minerals, it tackles both grid stability and supply chain security. GEL's CEO actually compared it to using a huge nuclear power station that's already underground.
And with 2 more plants on the way, the approach could expand, assuming the funding and planning hurdles can be managed.
Exactly. With government support and growing demand for lithium, the momentum is there. United Downs lays the groundwork for a cleaner and more secure energy future.
That brings us right back to the start. Cornwall's granite is now powering homes and could drive the UK's electric future. Thanks for unpacking all the details today.
Thanks for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. Try it out for free.